One snap. That's all Josh Allen played. And then the Bills pulled him immediately. So what just happened here? Was it strategy, caution, or something bigger than the standings? Because on paper, Buffalo still had something to play for in Week 18. But in reality, this might have been a calculated one-play goodbye and a loud signal about what the Bills care about most heading into the playoffs. And the wild part is, that single snap may have been the whole point. Let's set the scene quickly. It's Week 18 against the New York Jets, and Josh Allen is the starter until he isn't. After just one offensive snap in the first quarter, Buffalo takes him out, and backup Mitchell Trubisky takes over for the rest of the game. If you're a fan, your first thought is obvious. Why would you sit your franchise quarterback when seeding is still in play? Because yes, Buffalo technically had a path to move up in the wild card standings. But technically possible and worth the risk are two very different things. The real priority? Protect the most valuable piece. The simplest explanation is also the smartest one. The Bills decided Josh Allen's health matters more than moving up a single spot. And that decision makes even more sense when you factor in something important. Allen has reportedly been dealing with a foot issue for a few weeks. Now that doesn't mean he can't play. It doesn't mean anything dramatic on its own. But it does change the risk calculation. Because Week 18 is the last stop before playoff football. And playoff football is when you need your quarterback not just available, but fully functional, fully mobile, fully confident in every plant, cut, and scramble. So Buffalo looked at the board and basically said, "We'll take the long-term advantage over the short-term upgrade." And honestly, that's usually the right move. But then comes the big question. If the goal was to protect him, why let him take one snap at all? That's where the story gets interesting. Because one snap is not a warm-up. It's not getting into rhythm. It's not seeing the defense. One snap is symbolic. So let's talk about the two most likely reasons the Bills did this exactly this way. Reason number one, the consecutive starts streak. First, the streak. Quarterbacks and teams care about consecutive starts more than people realize. It's a durability badge, a reliability marker, a personal milestone that quietly becomes part of a player's legacy. So if Allen takes that first snap, he's officially started the game. And that can keep a consecutive start streak alive without exposing him to a full 4 quarters of contact and chaos. It's the cleanest compromise. You respect the milestone, then you remove the risk. Reason number two, a potential farewell to the old stadium. Now the second reason has nothing to do with stats and everything to do with emotion. There's a strong chance that this Week 18 game could be Josh Allen's final game at the current Highmark Stadium. The Bills are moving into a new stadium in 2026, and that matters here because if Buffalo ends up in the number 7 seed, they likely don't get a home playoff game, which means this could be the last time Bills fans see their franchise quarterback take a snap in the old building, even if it's just one play, even if it's brief. Even if it's a quiet moment most people wouldn't notice unless they knew what to look for. Think about that. One snap as a nod to the fans. One snap as a "we were here" moment. Not a speech, not a ceremony, just one last play in the stadium that defined an era. Now let's talk about the standings and why they still didn't chase it. Okay, but what about seeding? Buffalo entered the week sitting in the number 7 spot in the wild card standings, and they could only move up to number 6 under a very specific condition. They needed to win, and they needed the Los Angeles Chargers to lose. If Buffalo wins but the Chargers win too, no movement. If Buffalo loses to the Jets, then the Chargers' result doesn't matter. Buffalo stays locked in the final wild card position. So it wasn't fully in their control. And that's crucial. Because risking a quarterback especially one managing a nagging issue, for a scenario that depends on another team losing. That's exactly how teams end up regretting Week 18 decisions. What the one-snap move really tells us. This wasn't the Bills being scared. This was the Bills being disciplined. It's easy to chase the scoreboard in Week 18. It's harder to protect the season's true objective. And the true objective isn't, can we move up one seed? It's, can we win playoff games? So Buffalo made a decision that's not always popular in the moment, but is often the exact decision smart teams make. And the one-snap part? That's the human side of football meeting the business side. What about Mitchell Trubisky? With Allen out, the game shifts. Trubisky becomes the driver for the rest of the contest, and Buffalo gets to do something valuable: evaluate reps, keep key players safer, and run the offense without exposing the core. And for the coaching staff, this is also data. How does the backup handle tempo? How does the offense function under a different style? What does the team look like if they need to adjust quickly in the postseason? It's not flashy, but it's practical. The hidden message to the rest of the league, and if you zoom out, there's a subtle message here too. Buffalo is telling everyone, Jets included, we're not giving you extra looks. We're not giving you extra film. We're not risking the centerpiece. In a league where every detail matters, that's not nothing. Because the playoffs are a different sport. Different pacing, different urgency, different margin for error. And Buffalo just treated Week 18 like a controlled step into the next phase. So yes, Josh Allen played one snap, and it looked weird at first. But the more you break it down, the more it looks like a move with multiple layers. A health-first decision, a milestone preserved. And now the bigger question becomes this: if Buffalo is willing to sacrifice seeding for protection, what does that tell us about how seriously they're taking the postseason and how they're planning to attack it? Because the next chapter isn't about Week 18. It's about matchups, momentum, and whether smart restraint right now becomes a competitive advantage later. If this breakdown helped, hit subscribe for more clear, no-drama NFL explanations, and drop a comment. Do you think sitting Allen was the right call? Or would you have chased the number 6 seed anyway?